Welcome to The Explainer. You know, sometimes a single number can tell you a whole lot about an economy. And today, we're digging into one of those numbers, coming straight out of Japan's housing market. The big question is, are things still heading down, or are we about to see a major turning point? Let's break it down.
So here it is, a number that's got everyone talking. Japan's new housing construction for September, it's down 7.3% compared to this time last year. Now that's a pretty steep drop, and on the surface, it looks like the market's really cooling off. But trust me, there is way more going on beneath the surface here.
And look, this isn't just some one-off bad month. We're talking about the 6th month in a row that we've seen a decline. That's a full half year of things slowing down. So this isn't a blip, it's a genuine trend, a persistent slump in new construction.
All right, so let's get into the first big piece of this puzzle. What's really going on with this construction slump? So what does a 7.3% drop actually mean in real terms? Well, it means that work started on just about 63,570 new housing units in September. That's a real, tangible slowdown in the number of homes even getting off the ground.
Okay, now here's where it gets really interesting. This isn't just weakness in one corner of the market. Oh no. The slowdown is hitting pretty much everywhere, leading to what some are calling the triple decline.
Yeah, a triple decline. Basically, it doesn't matter what kind of home you're talking about. Homes built for owners? Down. Homes built for the rental market? Also down. And homes built just to be sold? You guessed it, they're down too. This is a huge sign that the weakness is spread across the entire board.
But if you really want to see where the pain is, just look at the for sale category. Condominium construction? Wow. It has absolutely plummeted by a massive 20%. I mean, that is a huge drop. It tells you that developers are seriously slamming on the brakes. So why? What's got them so spooked?
Well, it looks like it's a perfect storm of factors, really. First off, construction costs. Materials, labor, they're still stubbornly high. Then you've got this growing fear about interest rates going up, which would make it way more expensive to borrow the money for these massive projects. So you put it all together, tighter profits, a whole lot of uncertainty, and a lot of developers are just saying, you know what, let's just hit pause for now.
So, okay, construction is down now. But why does that matter so much for what the market's going to look like next year or the year after? This gets to the heart of why this specific piece of data is so important to watch.
It's because construction data is what economists call a leading indicator. Think of it like a crystal ball for the housing market. It doesn't tell you what's happening right now, but it gives you a fantastic preview of what's coming down the pipeline.
And the key thing to get here is the time lag. It's huge, right? You start building a single-family house today, it might be ready in several months. But a big condo building, we're talking 1.5, maybe even 2 years before anyone can move in.
And that right there is the punchline. The slowdown happening today is baking in a tighter supply of new homes for the future. We're setting the stage right now for fewer new houses and apartments hitting the market 1 to 2 years from now, and you can bet that's going to have a real impact on availability and, of course, prices. But just when it all sounds like doom and gloom, the data has a little surprise for us. If you slice the numbers a different way, well, a much more hopeful picture starts to come into focus.
So we've been looking at the year-over-year number, right? Comparing this September to last September. And yeah, that looks bad. But if you look at the month-over-month number, so just comparing September to August, it actually went up by 2.4%. After 6 straight months of nothing but red, this is the first little bit of green we've seen.
Now, this little uptick has some economists feeling, let's say, cautiously optimistic. The idea is that maybe, just maybe, after falling for half a year, the market is finally running out of steam on the way down. It could be a sign that we're hitting the bottom. So this leaves us at a fascinating crossroads, doesn't it? We've got this clear, long-term downward trend on one hand, and this tiny, potential glimmer of a turnaround on the other. So, what should we be watching for next? Really, it all boils down to a few key things. First, interest rates. Are they going to keep climbing, or will they level off? That's huge. Second, those construction costs. Will prices for materials and labor finally start to come down? And finally, maybe most importantly, developer confidence. Will they feel good enough about the future to start breaking ground on new projects again? And that's the million-dollar question we're left with, isn't it? Is this little blip of good news the start of a real recovery, a genuine turning point for the market? Or is it just a temporary breather before the decline continues? Honestly, we don't know yet, which is why the data from the next few months is going to be absolutely crucial to watch. Thanks for joining us.